Due to the increased amount of time we spend inside, have you found a new passion, completely changed your style, decided to manifest your new life in New York, religiously done Chloe Ting only to choose food, tried to learn a new language on Duolingo only to lose your streak by binging Netflix on a Sunday? Well, do not fear, I am here to fix your boredness, tell you to get off your butt and get that bread. I mean, how else do you expect me to feed my Squishmallow addiction? Welcome back to my channel, or hi, my name is Ellie if you're new here, and today I'm going to be telling you how you can start your own business and how I set up two of mine in the past year. The first step is do your research, and before you start your small business you need to consider these things. 1. Have you got ideas? Have you got good ideas? Have you got a concept? 2. Is there an audience for your product and are people going to want to buy it? 3. Have you got the finances? Are you able to buy the supplies, or do you need to save up for a bit first? 4. Have you got enough time to actually make the things and run your small business? 5. Have you got the commitment to run a small business? Are you gonna just ditch it after a couple of weeks, or are you gonna keep it going? If you've got all of those 5 things, then welcome, I'm glad you're still here. And if not, then you're at the right place, because I'm going to give you all my tips on how you can set up your own small business and have it be successful. First thing is coming up with a concept and the ideas for your business. It's all good being like, oh, I'm going to set up my own business, but what are you actually going to do? Like, the amount of people that you see selling the same 3 lip glosses, or just selling, like, there's this company that ships out fragrances to people to sell, and if you want to do that, great, that's great, but is that going to be something that you can sustain for a long time and build and grow? Maybe not. So what are you interested in? What are your passions? And once you come up with a concept, then great. So for my businesses, the first one that I did last year was I sold face masks to do with coronavirus, and that was great. I did really well out of it. I made a lot of money, and I just did that locally. So I would put leaflets through everyone's doors and get loads of orders that way, and then it kind of travelled through word of mouth that I was selling them. But my second one, I'm now selling like these pearl necklaces. This one I didn't make, this for my friend, but I'm selling those, and I'm doing that on Instagram, and eventually hopefully I'll have my own website. That's one that I'm gonna like sustain, and I want to add more things to my shops. Like, I'm really interested in selling fluffy bags, and yeah, it's just stuff that I love, and they're kind of things that are trendy in at the moment, so I know that it's not going to last forever. After that, then we can keep going and keep adding new things to the shop, and things that are still within the same thing. Like, I'm not going to jump from jewellery to men's trainers, because that is not what my following would be interested in. And these days it is really hard to come up with an original idea. The amount of small businesses selling these pearl necklaces on Instagram is ridiculous. It is such a crowded marketplace. So if you can come up with something unique in the first place, then that's great. But if not, it is slightly harder to come up with your own ideas, because the other day I was sat and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do a Care Bears collection, and then I went on Instagram, looked through people's stories, and I saw 2 different businesses being like, this is our new Care Bears collection. And obviously it is hard to have unique ideas. Like, the last drop that I did was a Zodiac collection, and that was something that I hadn't seen before, and I was really excited to do that because I'm quite interested in astrology, and that was really good. Before you start your business and get it out there, make sure you have some ideas and some concepts to last you for like a few months, because obviously you can keep going, but make sure you have something before you set up a page and start getting followers, because then you'll put yourself under so much stress when everyone's like, when are you going to release them? And you haven't even got the ideas yet. So make sure you put some time into coming up with them, and be honest with yourself. Like, would you buy that if someone was selling it? Make sure that what you're selling is good quality and worth the price. The next step is deciding on a platform. And this one was quite easy for me because I'd already been following a few small businesses on Instagram. The way that I run my shop is I will do a drop every few weeks of necklaces, and there'll be one of each, or maybe 2, and then people will comment or DM me to buy it, and it's like a first come first serve basis. I will send them my PayPal link and they will pay me through that. And it is quite confusing, but is fine. I've got like a load of story highlights that like tells you the prices and everything. But the main options are Etsy, Instagram, Depop, or setting up a website. Now, I personally recommend Instagram or Etsy. I don't recommend setting up a website first unless you're going to do that alongside an Instagram shop, because otherwise no one's going to find your website, because you name your shop, but if they don't know about your shop, they're not going to search it in Google. Whereas with something like Etsy, they type in pearl necklaces and your pieces will come up. So the only downside with Etsy is I did find out they have a 5% fee. Now, I don't sell on Etsy, and this is why I would recommend it over Depop, because Depop fees are 10% and then you have the PayPal fees or the debit fees or whatever your customer pays through. So I would recommend Etsy over Depop, but I think Instagram is really good because it's a way to get yourself out there and you can constantly interact with your followers and your customers and keep them engaged and interested. So I would recommend Instagram when you start out, and that's what I've done, and then hopefully I'll add a website when I can afford it and when I feel like I've got enough time to commit to setting up and designing it. Some website creating sites that I found you can use is Big Cartel or Shopify. Obviously they're all going to have different fees. Some of them are monthly, some of them are per product you sell. I know that Big Cartel has a free one, but I think you can only put 5 products on it, so obviously that's not ideal if you're going to be constantly updating your shop, and most people are going to be selling more than 5 products, so that's not going to be sustainable. However, starting out I think that's great, but if you're going to do that, then make an Instagram alongside it. Then coming up with a name for your shop, you can just be like handmade jewellery or handmade something by your name. Mine is called Fawn Beads because it kind of fits the aesthetic of like fairies and woodland creatures, and some people assume my name was Fawn. It's not, it's Ellie, but you know, I've now got that in my bio because they would message me being like, hi Fawn. I guess it's cute, but not really what I was going for. Although you could change it in the future, people will get confused and they won't know who you are, and then they're likely to unfollow you potentially. So make sure you've got a good name and don't copy someone else's. There is a lot of small business drama, unfortunately, because people copy people. People think people have copied people, and it does get quite petty. But most people that you'll interact with are really nice, and don't let that put you off, because I have made some of the best friends through owning a small business for nearly 2 months, and it hasn't even been that long. So on the first day I set up my business, I instantly posted. I had a post and I was like, hi, welcome to my shop. This is what I'll be selling, because you need people to see what you're selling. And the information they want to know is what is it and how much is it going to cost them. They don't really care about anything else. They don't really care about who you are at this point. They want to know what you're selling, how much it is, and they want to see a couple of photos. So I instantly put a prices highlight on my page. I put a post with some photos of the necklaces, and I wrote like a little bit like, welcome to my shop, I'm inspired by this, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is what you can expect, this is when I'm launching. So on your first day you want to get your information out there. You want some interactive stories. On Instagram this is really good because you can have like the questions where they write a question, and you want to reach out to other small businesses that you look up to, and you can ask them some questions and some tips, and if they're nice enough they'll shout you out, which would be amazing. And you want to make friends and you want to get your business out there to others, because their target audience is the same as your target audience. So like, just say hi, be like, I'm new to this community, and most people are nice. Most people will be like, oh, welcome, like, and then tell you like some tips. I always do if someone asks me. I've had a few people message me and be like, hi, I've just set up my account, would appreciate any support. And of course most people are lovely and will do that. And shout out for shout out, I do think is good. I don't think it's amazing, because the amount of shout outs you see on people's pages, most people will just flick through them, especially stories. Most people won't even look at it for more than a second. And if you are going to do it, know that suddenly you're not going to go from 0 to 200 followers. You can't constantly just rely on shout outs, and you've got to get your page out there in other ways. That brings me on to marketing, and marketing is so important. Depending on what your business is, I can guarantee you're probably not the only person selling that type of thing, whether it's stickers, phone phone cases, jewellery, makeup, there will be someone else out there doing it. So you want a unique selling point for your brand, and whether that is the aesthetic, a type of like supply that you're using that no one else is, whatever it is, you need to get that out there on your marketing. And I know TikTok is so good for small businesses, and I don't know why I haven't used it, probably just because I've tried and they look terrible. But the amount of small businesses that come up on my For You page anyway, and they've got 3 million views, I think that's a really good way to get your business out there. Also, having your own logo and making sure your page, like, it follows the same theme and colour scheme is really good. You want people to look at it and be like, oh, that's cute, and not like, that's a mess. Other ways to get your brand out there. On Instagram anyway, sorry I keep coming back to Instagram, I don't really have much experience with Etsy. So Instagram, you can do a paid promotion, which I've done it before and it hasn't worked, and then other times I've done it and it's been great. So you sign up obviously with your account and everything, and then it has to be a business account, and then you go to promotions, you choose the story or the post that you want to promote, and then you choose an amount of money and you choose how long you want it to last. So Instagram recommends that you do £5 per day. All of my promotions have not been longer than a day because I can't afford that. And then they charge you at the end of the month, which I didn't realise at first, and I almost went in debt. But they charge you at the end of the month, and you just need to keep a mental note of how much you've spent. Another way to get your brand out there is to send free PR to influencers. I've done this before and it hasn't really helped my account that much. Obviously, the bigger the influencer you send it to, the more people that are going to see it and the more people that are then going to come to your account. Also, sometimes you have to understand that the influencer, you have to make sure that they want to promote your products, because the last thing you want is to send them free stuff and then it never come up, because I know a few people that have done that and then the influencers posted about it once on their story with a load of other small businesses, which obviously isn't ideal and it doesn't get your brand out there as much. So just make sure the person you're sending them to actually wants to promote your stuff. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is inventory and getting your supplies. Now, obviously this is going to only apply to people that are creating jewellery or similar businesses, but I think a really good place to look is Etsy. And you can search like specific. Another place that you can get supplies of is eBay and Amazon. They're really good too. Occasionally I've bought from bulk sites that are from China, and it is a good price and you do get what you want. Bear in mind, shipping is a long time. Also, other supplies that you'll need packaging, and with small businesses, people do look forward to the packaging. And I love packing orders, so cute. And I literally had something from one of my friend's businesses this morning. She wrote me a little note and it's packaged really nicely. Another good thing to do when you're packaging is include like a discount code. So if they come and buy from you again, then be like, message me this code for 10% off your purchase or for free shipping. I've made this mistake before, is I haven't invested in packaging supplies. I sold all of my pieces and then I realised that I needed to ship them and I had nothing to ship them in. Another thing that is really good about Etsy or Depop, if you're selling on either of those, is it gives people a place to leave a review. Whereas for Instagram, I normally message my customers and I'm like, let me know when it gets there, I'd love to see a photo, and then I'll have to repost that on my story, because obviously reviews are good. It makes people know that your business is legit and not a scam, and that your stuff's good quality and that people are liking it. And it makes me so happy when I see reviews, because people genuinely, well, I don't know if they're lying, but hopefully not, and they genuinely seem to love my stuff, and it makes me really happy thinking that I've made that. The hardest thing I think about setting up your own small business is originality and constantly coming up with new ideas and new designs. And this doesn't apply for every business. So if you're selling like phone cases, for example, you have a set 3 designs and then people just buy them. But especially with the type of business that I'm running, where I do drops and like collections and everything is different, you constantly have to stay original and make sure that you're not copying someone else. And if you are taking inspiration, give them credit. It's a nice thing to do, and you would be annoyed if someone stole your design and didn't credit you for it. And also, if you are constantly copying other businesses, you will not be able to sustain your business. People will realise that everything they're buying from you, they could buy from someone else. Pricing and how to budget your business. Now, this is so important because I get so wrapped up in buying supplies. I will just be scrolling through Etsy and suddenly I'll have spent £50. And you know, as lovely as it is to have the best beads, make sure that you are making profit, and when coming up with prices for your pieces, make sure that you've considered the time you spend working on it, any editing and managing social media, because that all comes into time, and obviously the supplies, and then the packaging, and then the shipping costs. Consider all of that before you come up with a final price. Thank you so much to everyone for watching this video. I hope that you found it somewhat useful, and if you are going to start your own small business, then I wish you the best of luck. Message me on Instagram. I've left mine below. If you need any more tips, then just let me know. And yeah, I hope that it goes really well for you and that you're able to buy some Squishmallows with your profit. The top tips overall is come up with a unique idea, decide on your platform, Instagram or TikTok. Make sure you have one of those going for you at the same time, just for marketing and to grow your business. And make sure to take breaks and to take care of yourself, because it does get stressful. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and go follow my small business, which is going to be linked below in the description. I'll see you all next Thursday. I hope you're all staying safe and having a lovely week. Bye!